So, a little more on aerobic-based training. One of the questions I always get, and of course I got this question this morning after I posted my video, does aerobic-based training work for everyone? Yes, it does. Look, aerobic-based training is based on your heart rate. Fortunately, we all have hearts. Generally, all of our hearts work pretty much the same way. Look, you have, and I have to look at my numbers over here, your heart beats roughly in a lifetime. The average sedentary person in the United States have a 72-year lifespan. In that 72-year lifespan, your heart beats 2,724,710,400 times. That's a lot of beats on this little muscle. Through aerobic-based training, what happens is you teach your heart how to be more efficient at pumping blood and oxygen to the body and making your cardiovascular system work more efficiently. And what essentially does that mean? It means that your heart has to beat less time because your circulation, your circulatory system, your veins, your capillaries, everything is opening up a little bit more. Your heart only, instead of going boom, boom to get everything done, it only has to go boom, one time, boom, one time, boom, one time. So instead of it looking like this at 72 beats a minute, if you just slow it through aerobic exercise down to that's 10 minutes, 10 beats a minute, it looks like this. And over a period of a lifetime, think about this, over a period of 72 years, if you've reduced your resting heart rate and your normal heart rate just down to 62 beats a minute, and I have some people who I've worked with over the years who are low as 40 and 41, and even one guy who was at 38 one time. You reduce those 10 beats a minute over the course of your lifetime, you save 377 million beats. And that pretty much equates to 10 more years of heartbeats. That's a pretty amazing thing. And I'm sorry, but that's a medical fact. And it works for everyone. Developing a strong aerobic base, developing the ability to become more efficient cardiovascularly, allowing your heart to slow down as it pumps blood and oxygen, the harder you work allows you to become a better runner. Look, I hear the VO2 max arguments all the time. And, you know, what really cracks me up about the VO2 max arguments are, you know, they'll use Lance Armstrong and his incredible VO2 max. But Lance Armstrong's incredible VO2 max was a natural gift. And it's something that he had. But the word max is what everyone forgets about that. Once you get to that max, you can't take it any farther. And after about 6 or 8 weeks, when you've developed your VO2 max, you start to see diminishing returns. So here's and a great correlation. You know, everyone in America, Steve Prefontaine was America's hero as an athlete and a 10K runner. Steve Prefontaine had a VO2 max of about 82. Frank Shorter, who for some reason everyone seems to overlook, yet he was a gold medal winner in a marathon and a silver medal winner in the 10K, his VO2 max was about 5 or 6 less than Steve Prefontaine's. Yet their 10K times were almost identical. So because Frank was a marathoner and he had a huge aerobic base, he didn't have the high VO2 max, but he could work faster, more efficiently. And that's basically the way it works. The stronger you become aerobically, the stronger the cardiovascular system becomes, the more efficient your heart is, the faster you can run for longer periods of time using less energy. And it works for everyone. I am sorry, that is a medical, biological fact. It works for everyone. The difference is the application of the science and the timing and the planning of the workouts that go along with it. So think about it. It works. And if you have any questions, shoot me an email, prsfit@gmail.com. Be healthy, train smart, have fun.